you, Kim, for your kind words, and thank you all for your persistent presence up to the end of this edition. And it's an honor to be the last speaker on this stage before Akile's concluding words. And don't forget that after you have a participatory practice that I recommend by Amélie, founder of the Young Security Conference. So I'm a designer of public policies and democratic innovation. And my line of action since not 25 years, but 40 years, Kim, I started when I was 22, is to invite and support elected officials and civil servants to consider the incredible capacity of citizens to improve public services and public policies. The tools that I promote are citizens and stakeholders assemblies, juries, panels, and I work at creating new capacities within the institutions to give the citizens new seats and new powers within the institutions. And when I work with decision makers, ministers, members of parliament, UN officers, European commissioners, one question comes and comes again: will the impact of the policy that we are working on will be at the right scale and the right pace? If we look at the big universal topics that needs to be solved at local and global levels, like housing, climate, biodiversity, inequalities, we will all easily agree that we are not at the right scale and at the right pace. And scaling is a big issue in public policies. It's also a big issue for the initiative that we all take here in the room, that are the initiative to reconnect citizens and institutions, what we call democratic innovations. And it is very important to unlock the potential of those initiatives and put them at the right scale. And this is the objective of the program, the action called Scale Dem, Scaling Democracy, Scaling Democratic Innovation, Scale Dem, that we have prepared with 12 partners. It won a European competition, and we are now, since 1 year, implementing this program in the frame of the research program Horizon Europe. It covers the European Union, the 27 countries, and I will not enter into the detail, but I'm going to show you some principle and present you the call that we are going to launch in 2 months from now. So when we call scaling, we have worked on identifying 4 dimensions of scaling. The first one, we are on the screen on the upper right part of it, scaling out, which is the more classical way of scaling. It's spreading to more places and reaching to more people. And today, democratic innovation have way too limited geographical reach and fail to reach a large enough number of citizens. So we have, after the scaling high, it is what we call by scaling high, it is gaining political and institutional buying support. Because scaling does not happen without institutional buying support. And today, too many innovations still fail to embed themselves sustainably within existing governance structure, and they remain most of the time theoretical recommendation or too small-scale applications. Then we have the scaling deep. There we touch at the level of the culture. It's democratic innovation that touch the heart of the citizens, because if we want to have a scaling effect, we need to touch not only the brain of people, but we need to touch the heart of the people. And this is a dimension that is under search and under practice, and that is very important. We could see with the young there, they've been touched with their experience of 1 day of deliberation. And then we have the scaling in, which is to improve the quality and the standards of the procedure to really impact and have a transformative change and impact. And so these are the 4 dimensions of scaling that we want to address with our action. And we have, with 1 year of research, identified, scanning 300 democratic innovation in Europe, 4 main obstacles. The first category of obstacles is a regulatory category. It's the legal constraints, the lack of formal recognition, or the bureaucratic structures that do not allow those democratic innovation to persist and to scale. Then we have the cultural obstacle. It's public skepticism, elite resistance, weak civic engagement traditions. So each of them could be the object of 10 minutes of discussion and a panel, but we don't have the time for that. The third one is the resources. Of course, if there is limited funding, if we don't provide the right technical expertise or the institutional capacity, it will fail. And the last one is implementation, lack of coordination, wrong solution to the problem that is addressed, or technical constraints. So these obstacles, we know them. So we are not going to search more on the obstacles. What we are going to do from next December, it's to invite you, the community of democratic innovators, to propose projects to test the scaling capacities. And we will invest €1 million in 1 year to propose two kinds of scaling grounds. I'm going to present you those 2 scaling grounds. The first one is what we call the pilots. The pilots, it's for the pioneers. It's about testing bold democratic innovation in the real world, but on a large scale. So we invite regions, cities, NGOs, even private actors, anyone with a strong idea that would apply to propose a pilot to demonstrate the capacity to overcome the obstacles in the scaling operation. And we want unusual alliance. We know, that's why we all are here, that being with people we are not used to be with is really a strength, and we invite unusual alliance to present projects in this call. So if you have projects of that nature, take them out of your drawers and present them to the call. And then the second ground will be the twinnings. And the twinnings is to replicate proven scaling actions. So we will start with a mentor. A mentor is an institution, organization that have overcome one of the 4 obstacles and that has succeeded in at least one of the 4 dimensions of scaling. And that mentor will work during 1 year with 4 mentees to exchange and to invite the mentees to experiment the solution that have been applied and understand how to overcome the glass ceiling of scaling. And these 2 programs will have the same timelines, which is here. So December 25, we will launch the call. The contracts will be, the grant agreements will be signed next year in September 26. And from October 26 to September 27, it is the year of implementation. And after that, we will have 1 more year to draw the lessons from those scaling innovation and test. And we will come with my colleague Camille Debler here in 28 to present you the conclusion of the action. So thank you for your attention. If you have some remarks or some comments, we have 22 seconds for that. And please consider this opportunity and don't hesitate to talk with me, but present proposal we need to overcome those problems of scaling. And if we don't find the secret to scale democratic innovation, then the basketball match will be over, but not at our advantage. Thank you.
We can take 1 comment. Thank you. Thank you, Yves. Thank you so much, Yves. I just want to give the floor for just 1 comment, because I know Stéphane has something he wants to say.
Hello, Stéphane.
Hello, Yves, and thank you both. Thanks to the Athens Democracy Forum for everything. If you're still here now, I think you're a true fighter for democracy, if you made it so far over those 3 days. I just wanted to say, we from European Capital of Democracy, we do have a city network that we will invite to put forward projects and proposals for these scaling grounds, because we believe that cities can be this missing link from European, global, international institutions and the citizens. They are much closer to the people. They show where democracy does work. They do work with young people, with minorities, with marginalized groups successfully, and they often pilot innovative things where nations are not as fast and not as successful recently. So please all put forward projects for Scale Them, and thank you for this great opportunity to meet people and connect.
Thank you very much.